We never talk about what kind of coffee we have.
The coffee is not relevant to the show.
I mean, yeah, but it's a fun thing to, break the ice, get things going.
There is no ice, nor are there any things that need to continue.
Joe, you seem to have a selective way of understanding things.
If you were better at writing, then perhaps I would have a more consistent memory.
What does that mean?
Hello everyone and welcome to Games Over Coffee. My name is Joe and with me today is
Devon. My name is Devon. Hi there.
You did not let me finish the introduction.
Yeah, well, now you don't have to.
Oh, better efficiency, thank you.
What are we talking about today?
I already told you what we were talking about.
Yes, I know, but the audience doesn't know.
Oh, audience. Today we are talking about the role of empathy in games.
Exactly, yeah. I'm actually really excited to talk about this.
You and I have often talked about the role of empathy in games many times before.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about it again because it's been on my mind recently. A lot of my close friends and family have been asking me what I talk about on these videos,
So you will show this video to them?
Probably not. They're not that interested in my videos.
So why are we talking about it?
'Cause it's fun.
Okay. Devon, you hold empathy in a high regard in video game design. But empathy has nothing to do with video games.
Well, sorta.
Empathy is defined as the capability to share feelings or experiences of another person.
Yes, and
empathy exists between humans and not video game characters.
Yes, I know. I'm not talking about characters. I'm talking about feelings.
Characters have feelings.
Yes, but that's not what I'm talking about. Okay, look. Picture a character in a game. What do you see?
I do not have an imagination.
Right. Okay, we'll search for a character in a game.
I have found a character in a game.
So the character that you found, the character that you're holding in your mind right now, that person has their own feelings.
Yes.
So what happens is that some players will feel attached to those types of characters, while other players don't.
That is hilarious.
What?
I said that is hilarious.
Why did you say that's hilarious?
I am laughing at the joke you made. Humans becoming emotionally attached to fictional characters.
No, Joe, that's not a joke.
Oh, then it is not hilarious. Why do some people have emotional attachment to fictional characters while others do not?
Well, some people are more predisposed to feel the feelings of certain characters depending on, what they allow themselves to feel. The ability to get emotionally attached to a fictional character is...
Parasocial attachment.
No. But a parasocial attachment is something different. That's an unhealthy, one-sided attachment to a fictional character. I'm talking about empathetic understanding. Some people are able to play a game and easily relate with the protagonist while others just can't.
Not all humans have an emotional connection with characters in games. Why?
I think it's simply because some people can't get past the fact that the character is fictional. They're just made up, designed to be the way they are. Now, I know there's a lot of other media out there, like movies and books that have fictional characters that people, don't tell themselves, this person's fictional. Why do I care? But I think it's because that media has been around for a very long time, and because they use the media itself to communicate emotion. Like for me, whenever I can't get emotionally attached to a type of media, then I say that it has bad suspension of disbelief.
Oh, like the video where we talked about Superhot. You can find that video here. There is also a link in the description.
Yeah, we had a video. Wait, a video? What are you talking about?
Nothing.
Okay, well anyway, usually when I'm talking about empathy in game design, generally, relating with the characters is not what I'm talking about.
Then why did you spend the last few minutes explaining emotional attachment?
Because I'm forming context, Joe.
That is terrible for viewer retention.
Yeah, well, sorry.
Apology accepted. So if you are not talking about what we just talked about, then what are you talking about?
Well, when I'm talking about empathy in game design, I'm talking about using the game itself to communicate feeling.
And not characters?
Well, it depends, and that's the reason why I think it's important to understand the difference between empathy and sympathy.
Like our conversation we had on sympathy in this video, link also in description.
Sure, okay. Well, the way I think about it is like this. Sympathy is observing a person's emotions, and empathy is feeling those emotions. And as I said earlier, not everyone has the ability to feel a character's emotions by simply observing them.
I see. Some players experience empathy while some players experience sympathy?
Yes, and it annoys me that a lot of games, as they try to mature, they try to generally do it by making their characters more emotional. And that doesn't always work because you need something more than that. You need to use the medium itself to share those emotions.
Like how movies use visual storytelling?
Exactly. Only in this case, for video games, we use interactive storytelling. We use the game itself to communicate those emotions.
And how do we do that?
Well, that's what this whole thing's about. That's what you and I have talked about for over a year now, I think.
Like the time we talked about how to communicate emotions like depression, disgruntlement, cheerfulness, humiliation, distress, and grief.
Yes, all of those, yeah.
So games have the ability to communicate emotions through interaction?
Yeah. Like, for example, a game that everyone has played and been frustrated by is Tetris.
Tetris is a game that creates a byproduct of frustration but is not designed to be frustrating.
You're getting pretty good at this. Yeah, you're right. Okay, well then a game that is deliberately designed to be frustrating would be a game like Getting Over It.
That game is made to be frustrating?
Yeah. So in most games, a player is given a lot of control over their character to complete the task ahead of them. For example, in Tetris, you wouldn't give the player the ability to rotate the piece completely 360 degrees because that would be unnecessarily difficult. That would give the player the wrong skill. However, in that game Getting Over It, you're presented with a mountain to climb, and the way you climb that mountain isn't with hands or feet, but rather with a hammer. And your character doesn't have any feet to, stand on a flat surface. You're in a big round cauldron. This game doesn't just elicit frustration, it's built into the foundation. Despite it being a game where there's a giant climb in front of you, there is no save states, there's no checkpoints, something that is usually in games to lessen frustration. And the level design isn't just a climb upward, it tilts to the left and right, giving the player times that they can fall all the way back to the beginning, intentionally. The game is literally made to frustrate the player.
Fascinating. So the emotion of frustration was purposefully designed into a game.
Yeah, and that's what I mean when I talk about communication of emotions through a medium. That's what communicating interactively is. That's something I would call
empathetic mechanics.
Right. How'd you know that?
You have said that word many times before, but I am still confused.
What's confusing?
Communicating empathetically is not the same thing as empathy.
Right. So having empathy in your game means communicating emotions of another person or another perspective. So in Getting Over It, I guess, if the game was a story about this man and his frustrating journey, then that would be empathy.
Oh, I see. So communicating the emotions of characters through the game mechanics is empathy and game design.
There you go.
I am not going anywhere.
What?
I am here.
What are you
Thank you for listening to Games Over Coffee. And remember, we have a Patreon.
You do?
Yes.
Nice. Does anyone get anything for joining?
No.
Then why would anyone want to join?
I do not know.